Eastridge Housing Commission meeting. I'd like to go ahead and call to order. If we could please raise and pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, if we could please get a roll call.
Chairperson Davis,
Here.
Vice Chairperson Souter,
Here.
Commissioner Myers,
Here.
Commissioner Thompson,
Here.
Commissioner Valone.
Here.
Wonderful. If everyone could please review the minutes for May 14th for the May 14th meeting, and once everybody has reviewed, if we could get a motion.
Like the motion minutes be accepted as written. Second.
We have a motion and a second.
Second.
Vice Chairperson Souter,
Yes.
Commissioner Myers,
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson,
Yes.
Commissioner Valone,
Yes.
Chairperson Davis.
Yes. If there's any communication or comments by the public this time, they're not involved in any cases. There's anyone here? Okay, wonderful. We can go ahead and get started. Our first case tonight is 1603 South Smith Street. Notes indicate exterior needs major cleanup. There's dilapidated sheds in the backyard, trash debris around the property. There's a camper in the yard that someone is occupying. Is there anyone here in reference to this property? If you could please come forward. No, go ahead and stand at the podium, please. If you could state your name,
Reginald Quinn.
and you are
Lindsay Quinn.
Linda?
Lindsay?
Lindsay? Okay. And are you guys the property owners?
I am.
You are? Okay. And what is your current address? Is it the address 1603 South? Okay.
Yes.
And Tori, do you have all their contact information? If you could please exchange contact information with Tori, phone number, email address.
What do you need?
Phone number?
Hey, Miss Tori, could you explain kind of what's going on with this property where you were involved?
So this property's been in front of AHO before, and it resolved itself once before, but now it's back because of multiple citations have been issued for AHO. The code enforcement officers that issued the citations were unable to get satisfied service, so the property was never brought into compliance. This really got brought about from someone calling and letting us know that someone has been living in a camper on the property. And when we went out to do a site inspection, we saw that. We talked to, I'm assuming, Mr. Quinn's wife, maybe. At that point, you could tell that there was a lot of things going on. Also, just neighbor complaints, like I said, that have came through. So you've got disabled autos on the property, someone living in the camper, like I said. The sheds are in disrepair. They need to be either fixed or torn down. The carport's missing some of its, what was I gonna say? Some of its support. I was also told that the reason why somebody's living in the camper is because the house has termite damage. So they are remodeling that room and there's nowhere else in the house for them to stay. I have not received any permits for any sort of remodel situation kind of going on there. Here we are now.
Do y'all occupy that home or do you lease it out?
I live there. It's my residence.
Okay.
And I'm not quite sure where that came from, but there was a room upstairs that's being remodeled, but that's not due to termite damage. That's what Mr. Quinn's wife told me when I went out with the police department to talk about someone living in the camper.
And Lindsay, are you, what, daughter? Okay, my apologies. I thought maybe you were his wife. Okay, I apologize. Okay, so Have you seen the inside of the home for termite damage? It's just, so on the card here, it says rats, pest, were there rats and pests reported by
Neighbors.
whoever complained, said they're coming from this area?
Mhm.
Okay.
When I went to serve the paperwork yesterday, Mr. Quinn's wife was outside. I did not walk on the property. She told me not to walk on the property, so I stood at the road to wait on her and hand-delivered her the paperwork to be here today.
So how many other times has this came in front of AHO?
This particular thing has not come before us. This thing has not come before us. We've had several issues before, and they've always been, we've pretty much always taken care of it. I have pictures today of, I have another letter where I'm supposed to be here on the 16th for stuff. But, I mean, it's always taken care of. It's usually always taken care of. Then we have some people that complain again.
So,
Just because they walk down the street and see whatever and gotta complain about something.
Mr. Quinn, what kind of issues have you had in the past that you've had to rectify with the property?
My grass has been too high. I've had vehicles. The letter prior to this one, someone went down the street, and I'm not a rich man. I don't have very much money. We had a vehicle that was actively being worked on. And as you can tell, as you know, it's been raining, constantly raining. There's a picture of a car up on a jack with a part laying, out beside the car. Oh God, that's a violation. We're gonna have to send a letter. It's constantly always something. I truly feel like I'm targeted. I mean, for whatever reason, I'm complained on all the time about something. And this is a question I've asked before, and this is my honest, I don't understand. How is my property from, just my property, how is that anybody's business? How is that my neighbor's business? I mean, how can they call and complain about everything? I went to the bathroom and it smelled extremely bad. Oh, let's call and make a report. That's how I feel. I feel like I'm targeted. There's a target on me all the time.
Well, anyone who has any issues and they contact codes, they go out and they look at the property to see if it's something that needs to be rectified. So having the vehicles, the camper, it's worth coming in and talking about and seeing what needs to be taken care of to have it rectified. So going back to the original statement about the area that's being worked on in your house, you said it's being remodeled. What do you mean by remodeled? What's taking place
They just
there?
tore out the carpet. It's in the attic. It's basically a storage area, and it was just, they're tearing out the carpet, and they were gonna put down tile, is my understanding. That was all that was being done up there.
Is anyone actively living in the camper right now? Because now we can't do that in the city of East Ridge, correct? No, you can't actively live in a camper, even if it's on your own property without the proper permits and codes. Is anyone actively living in it?
So what does that mean? What do I have to do?
So his stuff that is his property. He's what they call their foster son, and all of his stuff is there, and that's all he has. So it's parked there, and all of his stuff is there. He comes in and out of the house, but
Or could you elaborate on that?
That's not what I was told. So
Okay.
I don't really know. I was told that he was staying in there due to the renovations in his room, apparently. Basically, you can store a camper on the property as long as it's behind the front structure line of that structure, but you cannot occupy it or live in it, period, the end.
That was my question. The statute was on that. And Tori, you weren't able to go on the property and see the backyard, or all you could see was from the road?
You can't see the backyard. It's got a big fence over it. So I don't know how anybody knows what's in the backyard.
We received aerial view pictures. That's all I know. That got handed over to me.
And is that not an invasion of my privacy? If you have to climb up on a ladder to take pictures of the backyard?
Not. So what is the best color scale? She's getting properties.
And I have a neighbor that has a camera directed right onto my driveway, right on stuff. Called the police out. Oh, it's on his house, so we can't do anything about that. You can talk to him and ask him to move. Ask him to move it.
One of our biggest things here is safety for the community. Okay, making
Safety for what?
safety for the community, and that includes you. So if a shed is dilapidated and has, you know, risk of falling, things like that are things that we need to address as well. So you were saying some of the sheds were not safe.
From what I
How-
could see.
I have a metal shed out there that the doors won't close on it. But if no one's in my backyard, how is that a safety problem? How is that a safety issue for anybody?
Well,
Because you
for-
live in the city of East Ridge and there's municipal ordinances and codes that you're supposed to follow.
Not only that, but you've got to think about first responders. If there was a storm or there was a fire or something, I'm a first responder. If I'm going in there and I get hurt, then because something is unsafe, then that's not, you know, that's another reason why we try to keep everything for the community safe, even if it is on your private property. What questions do you have, Mr. Tyler?
It looks pretty cut and dried to me. I mean, there's a lot of debris. How many of these vehicles are abandoned or broke down?
They all will run. All of them will run. They're not running right now. My father-in-law passed away, who lived in East Ridge. He had all these vehicles in East Ridge. Okay, he passed away. Something's got to happen with him because had a rental house. They were brought to my house because I have a backyard and a fence, which is nobody's business what's in my fence. And so the neighbor come up there. Oh God, this looks like Roach Holler, taking video and all that. So I mean, this has been a big problem with the one neighbor, and now they've gotten together and are buddy and going to gang up on us.
I'm not buddy, I'm
I'm not talking about you. I'm
following.
talking about the two neighbors.
Okay,
It's-
let's just make it clear.
It's your business if it's code compliant.
It's whose business?
What's behind your fence is your business as long as it's code compliant.
So are we not allowed to have vehicles on the property if they're not like insured and actively running?
They have
But
to be audible, they have to be insured, all the tags have to be in date. So even if you have a vehicle that the tags are expired, that's not considered operable. So it has to be operable and insured. And is there a count on how many vehicles you can have stored on your property?
No, they can have as many as they want.
As long as they're
they-
operable.
Mhm.
And operable means insured and tagged, and being able to run safely on the road, roadworthy.
So if theoretically we got all the vehicles registered and insured, it'd be fine.
If they're operable,
We wouldn't pass emission. I guess we don't do emissions anymore.
so you never know. Okay.
So what are the other biggest issues aside from the vehicles, obviously? The shed, we'll look at the shed and see. I don't know exactly what the issue was with the shed, but we
I don't
can
know.
address
To be
that.
honest, to be 100% sure, I would feel more comfortable knowing exactly, having Ms. Holder be able to get on the property and see, to see exactly what the issues are, rather than going off of a picture and a road perspective. Is that something that we can set up where she can come out, meet with you guys, go on the property and see firsthand what issues?
I would rather her not come out there. No, I feel like she has a personal issue with me.
She
too.
works for the city. She has no personal bearing
She does,
against
but
anyone.
She always has an attitude. Every single time she has dealt with me. Every time. You and I and her have been together, and she has an attitude towards me. I mean, I remember being with you, and you got on to me for cursing because I said a curse word. But we can do whatever we have to do. But
How much time do we have to get everything fixed?
Well, it depends on what the real issues are. She needs to get in there to see what the issues are, other than taking pictures from the road and statements. We need to see exactly what's going on.
Is that something that you're saying has to happen?
For us to move forward, I think that would be a good start, yes.
okay, so ultimately, what does this mean? She comes in, oh dear God, I've never seen anything like this in my life. You got to get out of East Ridge. You
No,
can't live here.
we've seen really bad things, so not at all. Okay, so let's just play for instance. Say there is something that needs to be put into compliance, okay? She will give you a time frame. Usually we talk about 30 days depending on the severity of the issue. And then you come up with a plan and we work through it together to get it done. Does that make sense?
We do understand
Sure.
that there are things that need to be done.
Right.
But like you said, it's been a rough few years. My
I
father
understand
passed
that.
away, and then my uncle passed away, and we're left with all of their stuff. They're left with all of their stuff, and then he lost his job. It's been hard.
We've,
And it's
I've
so-
just recently, if I have to bring in the financial statement, I mean, I just now this month owe only this month on my house payment. We had to file bankruptcy. I've lost my job. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. But I mean, that has nothing to do with cleaning up.
And I understand that, but at the end of the day, we just have to get things in compliance.
And
You know,
we-
everybody has to stay in the same compliance,
And we really don't. We're not trying to fight you on that.
I
We're
know.
really not.
and I understand that. And
It's
things
just
are hard.
emotions are a little high.
Absolutely.
And we do apologize, but it's emotional and it's hard.
And I know it's probably embarrassing having to come in today and talk about personal things, and it's your home, and everyone takes pride in their home and where they live. So my suggestion is, and I'm going to kind of ask everyone here on this body what their suggestions and their ideas are, is to have Ms. Holder have the opportunity come on your property and see what the issues are that need to be taken care of, and then move forward from there. Have the opportunity to see what exactly needs to be done.
Is there someone else, because they don't seem to they don't seem to enjoy her. She's been the one that's come out to the house a couple times, and my mom doesn't enjoy her, and there's
Is there
I've
Betty
been
John?
twice, and when you talk to me like the ground you walk on, yeah, I'm probably not going to be as pleasant as I would for somebody else.
and I do understand that, and I apologize for that. I'm just asking if there is anybody else that could
You know,
go in her
in all
place.
due respect, she is a city official.
I
You know,
understand
she has a job to do just like everyone else does, and
But there's bad blood, is what I'm saying, because I understand that she's mad. I can imagine what.
I'm not mad. I'm going to do my job, but ultimately, I give the same respect that I'm given. And when I'm just trying to explain the situation and why I'm out there, and you're disrespectful, yeah.
who else works in that area that could, is there anyone?
I mean, I
that
can have
would look
Ethan go.
Okay. Okay, I didn't know exactly how y'all divided the city and,
Well, when it
For
comes to housing
residential.
commission, I'm the only one that handles that. However, just to save issue and conflict, I'll send Ethan if I need to.
okay. Can we, get all of his information shared with them and have Ethan come the next meeting so that he can give report on anything that he found? Now, at the end of the day, Ms. Holder is the one who deals with residential in East Ridge. She is the one. And so, I mean, just like any other city official, whether it be an officer, a fireman, EMS, the mayor, whoever, everyone deserves the same level of respect, regardless. Emotions do run high, but there is that level that has to be granted. So, what are any comments or questions from anybody else on the board?
We can't do anything until somebody goes
Right.
out and looks. I mean, it's plain and simple. Report back. Because this is all hearsay.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so can anybody up here guarantee me that she's not gonna come out, he's not gonna come out, whatever, say, oh, this is too bad for anybody to
There-
live in, it's condemned, you
There
gotta get out
is no
today.
guarantee. There is no guarantee. Because I don't know. She doesn't know. Nobody knows until they go out and look at the condition of the property. And that's why they need to come out.
Okay, say whoever comes out and they do say it's condemned, what exactly does that mean to me?
We
I
don't.
mean, I got how long to get out? Sorry, it's condemned.
Well, if it's condemned, that means it's not safe for human habitation. That means you wouldn't be able to
That's
stay
pretty much what
there.
this letter right here says, it needs to be repaired, cleaned up, or demolished.
We don't think it's to that point. I
Right.
genuinely don't
It
believe that
needs, it needs some
does.
repair, it needs a lot of repair, and somebody that
Well,
has
that's
a
why you
perfect
need to
home or
let,
whatever.
that's why you need to let codes on your property make the determination. Because if they can't go on your property and make the determination, then you have to go off of the information that you have.
Okay, can you tell me why these two are here?
I do not know. This,
Can you tell
this
me
is,
why they're
this
here?
is an
I know
open
they're
hearing.
the ones
It's an
that-
open.
Sir.
Sir, this is a public meeting open to all citizens of East Ridge. And if those men are citizens of East Ridge, they are allowed to be here.
Okay,
That
how do they
end.
know?
That is the end.
Okay.
Okay, so when does someone need to come out and look at my house?
Since you're not comfortable with Ms. Holder, she now needs to get with the other codes advisor, the other codes officer, and be able to schedule that. She has your current phone number, email address for both of you guys. So I would say, as soon as you get with Ethan and his schedule. Now, that does not necessarily mean that you're not gonna end up dealing with Ms. Holder. She is a city official. But just so that you feel like there's no bias, I think that's fair, unless anybody disagrees. That's all up on Ethan and when he can get out there. I would say get in the next couple of days, because we need to make sure that we get on top of this. You know, you don't want it dragging on. So,
You're talking about coming into the backyard, looking at the outside of the house, correct?
yes, at this time.
They have dogs in the backyard. We'll have to
I
get
have
them
dogs, which
brought
is
in.
another problem with the city of East Ridge. I'm on the list to get rid of, I had one that had 10 puppies. I got rid of most of them. I have 2 that we want to get rid of. Oh, we'll put you on the list for January. Do you know how long January is? So, okay.
Unfortunately, that's not something that we,
I know, it's, everybody's a special department, special.
yeah, so, yeah, anybody wanna make a?
Yes, they will need to see the entire property. I would think they need to make sure that there's no termite damage that was mentioned, or any other code violations,
Okay,
correct?
say there's termite damage when we moved in. We had a big tree in the front yard that was eating my termites and it fell. The tree was so bad it fell. We got the tree cut down, whatever. There is termite damage in the house. I redid the living room some years ago, and there was termite damage there. That happened before we lived there. We bought the house like that. So what does that mean? You're gonna have to rip the walls down and look at the studs in the walls and see if see about the termite damage or what?
Again, we won't know that until a code official looks at it.
Okay, but how does the code official know without ripping the wall out and looking at it?
They'll know.
They're trained.
They'll know. They're trained for that. Your dogs will have to be addressed though when the code official comes out.
And that means what?
Put them in
We
a
bring them
cage,
inside.
move them off the property, do something.
Secure them,
You have to secure them.
secure them.
That was the main reason why we're trying to figure out a timeline. It's just so we know when they're coming. So
He will contact you. It just, he'll set up a time so he can get into your yard with you. That's the holdup to me right now, is we need to make sure that we have a full report to find out exactly what needs to be done, before moving forward.
At the very least, the camper needs to be addressed. We know that's a violation
Okay,
right out of the gate.
What does that mean, address?
That means nobody lives in
Everything
it.
I hear, sure, it could be there. He can have an office out there and do.
That means
anything.
nobody lives in it.
Means nobody can sleep in it.
You don't reside in the camper.
I do not.
Anybody.
I don't.
Anybody.
Okay, good deal. Once they come out and look at the outside, they may need to look at the inside, just so you're not thrown for any surprises. If there's just cause for them to need to look at the inside of the house. But right now, the big concern is what everybody can see from the outside, okay?
Okay,
you.
so that means 3 days from now,
Again,
Wednesday.
like I said a moment ago, the other codes official is not present to be able to give you a time right now, because you're not willing to allow Ms. Holder to come out on the property. Now you're gonna have to wait for the other codes official to get in contact with you to set up a time around his schedule from all the other visits that he has already pre-planned.
Okay,
Unless you're willing to let Ms. Holder do it.
that's fine. She can come out. I would love for her to come out. I would love you to come visit.
Is there a time that you would like to go out and see him? This week, if possible.
I can probably shoot. My schedule changes every day. I can probably shoot Friday.
Okay.
Okay, so Friday, that means you come to the house, walk around the house, go inside the house, so
Nope,
gotta have the
nope.
dog somewhere.
My scope is the exterior right now. That's it.
Now the exterior, okay? That way we can go ahead and get moving. You don't have to wait until next week. She can come out on Friday. You already know Friday to be prepared. Y'all can set up a time.
And whatever time works best for you, I'll put it on my calendar.
He doesn't get off work until 5 o'clock.
Till
Is it
6.
6 o'clock?
I get up at 6 o'clock.
Is it possible to do it after that, or do you need to do it sooner?
Preferably sooner. We're out of here by 4:30 if anybody can meet us.
Okay, can I get your phone number and we can arrange it later?
Okay.
It's gonna be the main city hall number 423-867.
What, did you purchase the
7711.
house in 2000?
7711.
Yes.
So you've been there,
26.
So what?
So if you
you've been there 25 years?
Yes.
Tori.
Okay. All right, so if you could go on Friday, and then we'll need a motion for follow-up for the following week. So she's gonna come out, look Friday, talk with you guys about what she sees that needs immediate attention. Does that make sense? Okay.
Thank you, we appreciate your time.
No, hold on one
Okay,
second.
so
Hold on one
I
second.
still have to come out for this one?
That was
I still have to come to court for this one?
addressed before the housing commission was issued. So no, I will speak with Ethan. Ethan's the one that issued that one. I'll let him know to go ahead and close that one out, and we'll just focus on housing commission.
And that's more for them to come back to determine what needs to be done. It is July, the second Wednesday in July.
It's the 13th.
Would that not be July the 9th?
All right. I'm gonna make a motion that we pass this case till July the 9th, pending giving Tori time to revisit the property and come up with a complete plan of going forward.
And will you be able to tell us when you're there what needs to be done?
You will still have to reappear in front of them, but I'll let you know ahead of time. so
But
you-
not
you
before
have
we
a
can
game
start
plan.
making the changes? Okay, thank you. And you said July the 9th?
We have a
No, you're
motion.
coming out Friday.
Yeah, but July the
am coming
9th is
out
when we
Friday.
come back here.
Right.
July the 9th will be the next meeting.
And that's at 5:30 again?
Yes,
ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, so on July 9th, come back at 5:30 and we can discuss then what she found. Any ramifications that have taken part up to that point and what else still needs to be done. Okay? All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. We'll see you on July 9th.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is all old business. Yeah. Okay, and then move forward. I'll inform them and I'll call them up at the end. Speaking. Okay. All right. The next item is 3714 Sullivan Avenue. If you guys could come up, please. This is an update on progress of the property cleanup from May 14th meeting.
So I went out right after Housing Commission, met with Miss Brenda. Trey was at work. I let her know to let Trey know that we had to get everything behind that fence cleaned up, cleaned out. So anything that he wanted to keep needed to go into the buildings, etc. And I know that outside of the fence was cleaned up. He cleaned up that stuff.
Okay.
But the inside of the fence, I'm not for sure everything that.
Will it help if I put the blazer inside the fence?
I mean, the blazer is operable, but it's everything that's inside the fence that's the problem.
So last meeting, I thought we were getting access to go into the fence to see what the issue was, the complaint from the neighbor that they can see from their yard.
When I did, Trey actually had to go into work because I came out, we set a time, and then he wasn't aware. It's okay, his boss came and got him earlier, so I wasn't able to get into the,
He put a bunch of stuff out Monday, and they picked it up. Somebody, garbage people. But he put a lot out then. It's gone. He will continue to do that. And I must say, Tori has never been anything but nice and polite every time she's been. And Ethan too. They've both been just very polite.
Well, this is the second time that this has been in front of us just in the last couple of years. And according to our last meeting, you know, she needed to get back there to figure out what we needed to do, and she wasn't able to do that. So I don't know if it's,
Well, we had a motion that if it wasn't in compliant by this meeting, that the city would take action to clean it up.
no, we were just, yeah.
but how are they gonna clean it up if they can't get access?
Do you have a quote to have it cleaned up?
I do. I sent it to the contractor that we normally use just to give me a ballpark estimate because obviously I was waiting to get in. Kind of showed him what we were dealing with. He came back and quoted $3,000, but that's not to say that it couldn't be more, it couldn't be less. I'm not exactly sure what all. It depends on dump fees, the cost that it's going to cost him.
I also had a note on this one that there may have been some pending AHO fees. Were you able to get any clarification on that?
Do you know if that one got placed?
It did.
It did.
There's a lien on it.
We just give us,
All right. This, again, it just keeps coming back and there's always a reason. And after our last meeting, we had the unanimous vote and everyone understood what was gonna happen if it didn't become compliant.
And I did clean up the outside, which was what the last meeting was about.
No, the entire property is what the last meeting was about. And this body was clear with that. So at this time, I'm gonna make a motion to proceed with the possibility of the cleanup that would actually move it from here to the city council.
Bill,
Right.
10 day.
correct.
You guys have 10 days to appeal it. You have to appeal it with the city council though. So if you don't, basically you don't want it to happen, you've got to appeal with them and they've got to hear it.
All right, now,
And that's,
Yes, I will get you,
and that's based on the quote that you have 3,000 plus or minus.
okay.
give or take.
So right now, we have a motion to move this forward for the city.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. You have 10 days to appeal that option, okay?
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
10 days.
10 days.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Vice Chairperson Souter,
Yes.
Commissioner Myers,
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson,
Yes.
Commissioner Valone,
Yes.
Chairperson Davis.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so you guys have 10 days to appeal of the city coming out and cleaning it up, okay? City will come out, get it taken care of for you. But the biggest issue that I'm seeing, and of course we've already moved, we're voting, we're moving on, is this keeps coming back. Okay, so
To me, the
whatever
biggest
you need
issue-
to do to get this taken care of and to keep it taken care of, okay, is the goal.
To me, the biggest issue is my neighbor though, you know, so,
We all have to stay in the same code and the same
you
compliance.
know, we have a few words and he calls.
Well,
Okay?
there's something there for it to come in front of us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I
If
do.
there was nothing there,
I do.
then you wouldn't be here. So I appreciate your time though, and I hope you get all taken care of and keep it taken care of. And Ms. Torrey can work with you guys on everything else. Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
I agree. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay. Alright. Next item is 48 Frawley Road, up Downey progress, property cleanup. I'm sorry, 28 Frawley Road. Up Downey progress, cleanup, mowing the grass. This is from May 14th. Are they, she's here. Yay. You can stay there. It's fine. It's okay. If you want to come up and. Oh, you can stay seated. It's fine. That's okay. Okay. Miss Torrey's going to bring you a chair down, okay? Okay. Gentlemen, we're going to get through our agenda and then we'll address y'all's concern. Yeah. It's okay. I want to get through the folks that are here for their cases and, yeah. Yeah, it's okay. Thank you for your patience.
I didn't hear y'all call my name.
Oh, we didn't. It's okay. It's okay.
They just called your address.
Huh?
Just the address so far.
Oh, it's the address.
Yeah, just your address. They haven't started yet.
Oh, oh, you want me to say that?
Yeah, if it'll be easier for you.
Yeah.
Her name.
Reason we were a few minutes late, we didn't know how to get in this place.
That's okay. You weren't late. Are you Miss O'Connor?
Huh?
Are you Miss Edna O'Connor?
Yeah.
Okay, nice to meet you.
I ain't gonna let you go. Can you reach that? They'll probably ask you some
Okay.
questions. That way they can hear you.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is Miss O'Connor, and what is going on with that property? Have we gotten the grass cut? Have we been able to get it cleaned up a little
my
bit?
grandson's been over there cutting. I ever changed it yet?
Okay,
So yes, the front yard, but we've got to get the backyard maintained.
okay,
The backyard's what's really
Well,
bad.
they're working toward that. In fact, I've got, what is it you call them people that cut grass and stuff for people,
Your lawn care?
lawn service.
Yeah.
I've got two I'm trying to get lined up.
okay.
And this time it's so busy of the year and it's much rain. That's what my grandson said. Said, Granny, it's hard for me to do too much over there the time it starts raining on me.
So the front looks really good now, it's maintained?
It's starting to grow again, but
I got
it's not bad. The
Yeah.
back's really the biggest thing. They did get, the old stairs that were falling. They got those out of there.
Okay.
There's a few little odds and ends we gotta take care of, but for the most part, it's not bad. So.
Okay. So, how do you feel about this one? What are your thoughts?
Just kind of knowing a little bit about Miss Edna and her situation, I would ask to give her a little bit more time.
Yeah.
Just so we can find, or Miss Edna can find somebody to get the backyard cut without having this in the city to do it. I don't want anything else to be taxed on her. And then I can work with both of them to let them know, just exterior wise, if there's any other debris or little things that we need to be removed, we can get that removed, but it's no big
And
deal.
the major safety issues taken care of in terms of the steps.
Yeah,
We're just worried
that,
now
and then,
the
just
cosmetic.
getting that grass cut down. Yeah.
How large area is in the back?
Do what?
How large is the backyard? How big an area?
You know how big your backyard is?
It doesn't
How
go,
big your backyard is? Do you know?
How big what?
Is your backyard?
I guess,
don't know how big it
I guess
is,
my
but
question, Ms. Holder, does it extend out into the woods or is it just a backyard area?
A little bit of both. You can tell at one time it was maintained, but just over time, it just
Right.
kind of grows back up. Yeah.
I used to be able to keep it up, or, my whole family. And I've had a lot of health problems. Started off with one knee being replaced. I got that done, and then I had a 3 bypass heart surgery. And it was spiced, I had to. That's the reason that's on my tax record. It says whatever it says there. And I didn't even know what that meant. I mean, I just went in at the last minute and I said, I gotta have something because I'm on my way to be operated on. Now, I didn't know if I'd live through it or not. But the good Lord kept me here for a reason. And I'm doing the best I can under the circumstances. And I'm under a medical doctor. I'm under I say a team. I don't know. It's two doctors. It's one they're working with together. One's over the other, and I don't know what they call them, a health nurse or a doctor, but I do know both of them got offices. One of them a surgeon.
Okay.
And,
Wasn't there a relative or something that lived next door? Or?
Son-in-law lives down a couple doors down. Is that right?
2 doors down.
Your son-in-law?
my son-in-law, we bought our house over 50 years ago. And it took us paying payments month by month by month till we got it paid for. I mean, that's how it worked, because my husband, I had 4 children when me and him married, and he helped me take care of them. And then we adopted this one, and she's my baby. And she's, 32, 30, oh, 52. I can't ever remember how old she is, 'cause she'll always, and my baby from my other children, he started home from work up toward Cleveland. He was a painter. And on his way home, he had a wreck and had a heart attack and died suddenly. And I have been through tremendous shock, because that particular morning that happened, they called me and they wanted to know if I knew James Smith, which was my son's name. And I said, yeah, that's my son. I said, what's wrong? And he said, well, there's been a bad wreck up here. And said, are you there by yourself? And I said, yeah. He said, well, I advise you to get all the family together and y'all get up to Cleveland to that hospital as soon as you can get up there. As soon as we got up there, he was laid out. He died suddenly. And to have a shock like that, you don't ever want something like that because you never get over it. And I had that one boy, and this one grandson is helping me because they used to work together, you know, before my son died. And he always kept things up, and then I kept things up, and my husband, you know, I've always done the best I could with what I had to do with. And I'm 89, I'm 89, or will be 89 the 17th of June.
Well, thank you for coming down here and seeing us today.
And
I've
happy
got
early
grit
birthday.
like you wouldn't believe it. I mean, just nobody better not miss me is the way I feel.
I was hoping there would be some family that might could help.
Well,
Family that might could help.
I'm hard of hearing too.
we were hoping there were some family members that could help you, or church, or community.
Well, my family members, when we adopted this one, the rest of them, when they was young, they all decided they was gonna marry off and have their own families. Well, I was an empty nester. And I went to her mother. Her mother already had one child, and it was all she could do to take care of that one. But anyway, her mother couldn't afford to take care of another. And I went to her, and I told her, I had sympathy for her, and I told her, I said, under the circumstances, and I talked to my husband. My husband's dead too. He's been dead. He died December the 9th. Was it the 9th? 8th
So
or 9th
sorry.
of 99.
Well, Miss
Right at
Connor,
2000. And I've been a widow woman ever since then.
I understand.
Well, once my other children, she began to grow up. She's got a college
Right.
education. She's went to Lutheran school. We could do things better for her than we could to others, the other kids.
Yeah.
Well, they're all jealous of her.
Well, Miss Connor, you know what we're gonna do is,
Huh?
what we'll do is we're gonna pass this and see if we can, you know, Miss Tori's gonna kind of watch the yard. You have some yard people, you said, that may be able to come and do that back
Yeah.
for you.
I just got a
Well,
text
her
message
husband-
of some people interested.
Yeah, just text. And I may know some people as well. I think between people, we can get your yard mowed somehow.
Well,
But, so we're gonna pass this till next month, and then come back and look at it again. So you have the month to get it all taken care of.
could you tell me who's been complaining?
No, I don't know. I don't know.
The
I
only-
forgot.
only thing that I know is there's my house here, and the house come up vacant. They was, you know, we've always lived in our house, and that house in the middle of me and my other daughter and son-in-law on the other side, blacks moved in there, and they began to
Miss
think they
Connor
owned it
O'Connor.
all.
Hey,
I mean,
sweetie.
they.
We
If
don't
she
know-
gets mad at me, she will.
Well, we don't know anything about anybody complaining. It's just everybody has to stay within the certain codes of the city. But don't worry about any of that right now. Miss Tori's gonna work with your daughter
Yeah.
and see about getting some folks out there to help you, okay? So we're gonna make a motion to pass this for 30 days, and then they're gonna work together about getting somebody out there to get your yard taken care
Let me
of,
tell
okay?
you what that black woman done.
Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter right now.
That's not for now, no
Yeah,
ma'am.
we don't have to
Let's
worry
go
about
ahead
that.
I'm gonna go ahead and make the motion to pass this.
Anyway, they
And-
tried to tell me
We
how
have
to
a
do my
motion and a
business, and I say, you stay at home, and I
Yeah.
stay at home.
Yeah.
And you know, but they got kids, and they come over on my property, and they tie up things and misplace.
Yeah.
Vice Chairperson Souter,
Yes.
Commissioner Myers,
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson,
I'm on
Commissioner
some kind of
Valone?
medicine that it
Chairperson
makes me
Davis.
talk.
Yes. Thank you, Miss O'Connor.
Huh?
I thank you, and Miss Tori's gonna keep us posted on your yard work, okay? So you don't
I'm
have to worry
hard
about
hearing
it.
too, if you wonder why.
You have a happy birthday in
Thank
July.
you.
Happy 90th.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I wanted to go out to eat, but the doctor, the last 2 times that I went to the doctor, he's put me on, I got a slow heartbeat.
Sorry.
rate, And I have to take my medicine during the night and then take it on time or I might not be here the next morning. That's why, under my circumstances, I don't need to have nothing like this.
I understand.
And this is all brought on by somebody. Her children are grown up now. And they've got grandkids, and she's wanting my house, I think, is what the problem is. And I had my yard fence in on her side, and her kids tore my fence down. And she was always gone a lot back in the day when her kids were smaller. And they played in the road, and I let them come up in my yard, and we planted flowers.
Okay.
It's okay, because guess what? We're going to help you get through it, okay?
Okay.
Okay, we're all done.
next
Thank you,
week.
Miss Connor.
Okay.
Promise.
You have a
Let
good
me know
evening.
who's who. What's your name?
I'm Tori. I'm who you normally talk to.
Oh, okay, I talked to you.
Uh-huh.
And I couldn't figure out which one you were.
It's okay. It's okay. I got Jeannie's number, so I'm gonna give her a call probably next week
Oh,
sometime. And we're
okay.
gonna get out there and figure out what we can do to get you
Okay.
funds, okay?
Well, my son-in-law, her husband, he's got a yard service at his house. And I told him, I said, one way to take care of that is have her husband take care of that problem so I don't have to.
Well,
We
thank
got
you.
And
We'll
then I
see
got
you
another
later,
yard.
okay? We'll
Huh?
see you later. Your daughter's ready to go. You're all done.
Okay. Well, I ain't sure talking.
Thank you.
I love to talk to people. Like, I stay in, but where I'm staying is I can't get up and down. My property that I've lived there for 50 years is up and down, like a sloping driveway where one car gets out, the other has to move to get out, that type. And I have trouble getting up and down. So you better believe once I get my feet before they operate, I'm gonna be out there cutting that grass myself.
It's just not always gonna be that way.
Here, I just gotta finish up.
Thank y'all for listening to me.
You're fine.
Y'all be old one of these days like me. Hey, I never thought I'd get this old. I lived that long to be this old. But I
Okay.
tell you what, the good Lord's left me here for a reason. And
Okay, our next case is just follow up on 14
and she can help me
40
keep up with it. But
Mill Road
mostly
Circle when you get done
keep
with
up
Miss
with things
Tori.
by myself. I don't like people telling me what to do and how to do it. But that is the problem. Because let me tell you what happened. I gotta tell you this. She and I went out to the house to check on it. They changed the air filter. She went in and changed the air filter, and I could see, how things looked.
Miss Tori, you done?
We started back up the road, and this car got in behind us, and they sat down on the horn, and they was hollering and screaming. We didn't know what was going on or who it was. Well, on Fawn Drive, which is the next street up, Jeannie pulls in with this black woman I was telling you about. She pulls in, and she was a mouthing, and a screaming and all of that. And I've had to put her in her place a few times over the years. But I didn't know who it was that was screaming till after we pulled out and went on. And I asked her, I said, Jeannie, who was that? And she told me. Well, that black woman, after we turned it up fun to turn around and go back, that black woman must have went back home. But she ain't nothing but a troublemaker. And
Miss
she moved
O'Connor?
in, and once they get in, they take over.
Well,
They,
you can, I'm so sorry that happened to you, but I think Miss Jeannie's about ready to go, and we have another case waiting on us, okay?
Okay,
All
I'm
right,
sorry.
well, I appreciate you so much.
Well,
I'd
y'all
love to hear
come
all
see
your
me
stories.
sometime, and we'll talk.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Miss Jeannie,
I
for
just
helping.
love people, and I love to get along.
I know.
And I have tried to get along with that woman, and they ain't no getting along with her.
That's all right. We'll help you. We'll get it
It's like
fixed.
off and on. I appreciate y'all
All right.
giving me that,
Thank you.
but,
Miss Tor,
I just can't afford to be tore up all the time, you know,
right.
over nitpicking stuff, you know.
yeah. All right, Miss Tori, our next case
Sorry,
is.
I didn't go by the protocol.
You're fine, you're good.
Whatever that
Thank
means.
you. You're okay, All right.
We'll see you later, Miss Edna.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, hon, bye.
Bilbro.
I apologize. 1440 Millboro Circle, progress on having the city clean up, removal of vehicles, having the grass cut. This is from May 14th and prior meetings of that as well.
Correct.
What's going on?
So, my contractor did go out to get the property cleaned up. There are cars and things on there because I'm pretty sure what Mark ordered, we weren't supposed to touch that yet. Just because we didn't know where to put it. I could be wrong, but I don't remember that being, I didn't have that hauled away anyways.
Okay. So how many vehicles are on the property? Are they operable?
I don't know. Some of them yes, some of them no.
Are they insured and tagged?
Some of them yes, some of them no.
Okay. Just from previous conversations today.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's maybe 2 or 3 that would be considered inoperable.
The minutes shows that we had a motion and a second. We had a ruling to clean up the
For
property
that?
and inoperable.
Okay.
But I don't know how the order was written on the vehicles.
Because that's what I look at as Mark's
Okay.
orders. So that can be on me. It's not getting closed out. I can tell you guys that much right now. I did
We
have
down to
the-
just vehicles now?
Yes,
Okay.
and then under the carport, if that's what you want to call it, he actually met me out there the day that I sent my guys to do the cleanup, and I told him while I was there and what they were going to take. I did give him a fair chance, and I said, listen, whatever it is that you want to keep that's not under here, you need to get it now. So he did get a few things. They did haul away a bunch of stuff. He kind of cut the grass. I sent the street department the next day to finish cutting the grass. They were going to remove the dead tree that was in the backyard, but where it was and the location that it's in, because it's deeper down in the field, they weren't able to get it out without their equipment, and they were pulled out of there to not get the tree. So the tree's still there, and that's something, I don't know if you guys want to look into a tree service getting it. I don't know.
Is the tree a nuisance?
Apparently to the neighbors, yes.
And can Mr. Shadwick not take care of the tree or have it taken care of? Well, he hasn't to this point.
That's what I was gonna say, Miss Davis. We're here because he doesn't reach compliance. So I don't think we're gonna get anywhere with that one.
No.
So, I mean, I feel like it needs just to be taken care of.
Was the tree part of the original
Yes.
complaint?
I do know that was in the order, yes.
Yes.
The tree was in the order?
It was in the order that Mark had
And-
drafted last meeting.
So do we have to get a new bid for the additional labor to have it removed?
Yes, because
So-
the reason why I didn't get it included in my bid is because I thought, because street department normally handles things like that for me,
Okay.
they would be able to do it. It would just be done. We tax it back. But that
Okay.
So
We need to get a new bid to have the tree.
on that, is that something that's come back here, or does she, if it's under a certain amount, she can move forward?
It's over 10, it's gotta go to the council.
Right, but if it's under, she can move forward with it, right?
I just have to have approval from city manager. I'm pretty sure.
Then if it was part of the order, I would say proceed with that.
Motion, second.
What about the vehicles?
Were they in the order that that was written?
How many vehicles are there?
I'd say 2 or 3. Then you've also got jet skis and things of that sort that we technically could take.
I mean, we
But
can have recreational vehicles as long as they are,
operable essentially, and
Yeah,
some
these-
of them are not.
These
Yeah.
were bad,
right,
if you'll
Yeah.
remember.
Hold on, let me see if I can pull
Yeah,
up this.
well,
you know.
looks like the boat we found under the trash.
Hmm?
The boat that we found under
Oh,
the
yeah.
trash.
Okay. So, we need to have, if they're not
We
tagged,
gotta make a motion.
they're not
to-
tagged.
She's
then not.
looking up the order. Okay.
I'm trying to find it.
They have it. Anything wrong with it?
Including the tree removal. Would that
Unless the vehicles are not in the initial order. They were in the motion, but not in the
Here we go.
order.
So all Litchford ordered, or that he put in the order, I should say, on May 14th, was the city shall initiate remediation efforts to bring property in compliance, including removal of debris, rubbish, trash in and about the property, mowing the grass, hauling off the brush, and tree remains. That's it. He didn't list the cars on that one.
I would think that you could. And further, to the extent that the previous order. Remove the automobiles at this time.
Do you understand that?
So you're
Inoperable.
moving forward with the previous order to clean. Order them to clean up, also clean up the automobiles at this time.
All right. I'm gonna make a motion to proceed with the original order of all trash debris, the tree that's left, to get a bid to move forward with cleaning that order, for filling that order, and to extend that order to include inoperable automobiles, vehicles.
Recreational vehicles.
Hmm?
Recreational vehicles.
Recreational vehicles, that's inoperable. In disrepair. I second.
We have a motion and a second.
Vice Chairperson Souter,
Yes.
Commissioner Myers,
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson,
Yes.
Commissioner Valone,
Yes.
Chairperson Davis.
Yes. The last one on our agenda tonight is 763 Flynn Drive. Right now, this is just an update on getting bids to have the pool and deck demolished, having the grass cut, and if there is any more developments at all on current ownership of the property.
Ownership, no. I have not talked to Ms. Gore. We sent the notice to her alongside of Flynn Drive, which I think she had it forwarded to her anyways. Still nothing. I did get a quote for removal of the deck pull and all trash and debris in the backyard, really, in that area. The quote came in at $4,800. He's ready to move forward when we're ready to move forward, and then I will get street department out to cut the grass.
And moving forward on this one, I mean, if we don't, if the house is boarded up, it's ultimately vacant, there's no utilities. Until it goes up for foreclosure and on the courthouse steps, the only thing we're gonna be able to do is maintain the yard.
It'll just be liens taxed against the property.
It's my heart.
Mm-hmm.
That's frustrating. Okay. I mean, is there anything we could put in the paper, or there's no other, I mean, if,
About making contact with, I mean, the city, I don't know why, I don't think the city has historically published notice in any.
the issue is that there was supposed a reverse mortgage on the property. The two people who own the house, they expired. The heiress is not able to maintain the the property. And it's currently condemned because of sanitary reasons. So it's just sitting.
Surprised the mortgage holder had.
That's why I'm,
She said that we've tried to send it to the mortgage companies that Mark found on hand. Nothing, no response. So I don't even know who holds the mortgage. Apparently Julie, which is the daughter of the original owners, she said that she's reached out to both mortgage companies that we found. They don't have record of the mortgage on it. I have no idea. That's what I
Yeah.
thought.
it's
but-
not.
Be a deed of trust somewhere.
Well, they found a couple of different companies, but both companies denied it.
Mhm.
They said that they didn't have a mortgage, a record of it.
I have no idea.
So, okay.
What, and I'm sorry, I may have missed this. What was the amount of the bids that we have to rectify it?
38.
Do what?
The rectification bids to have the pool and everything cleaned up.
So it was for $4,800.
Okay.
At this time, does it still need to come back before us every month? I mean, if it's into the situation where the city's maintaining it?
As I think as long as we can meet exterior compliance, which we will, I can just come back and ask for a dismissal on it, and then I'll just have code enforcement monitor it throughout spring, summer. Needs to be cut, we send them out.
Dismiss it without prejudice.
How does this, if the case is dismissed and the present violation is cured, what authority does the city have to then enter upon the property to continue maintaining it for purposes of keeping it compliant? I would think,
Probably not. You'd have to wait till it comes uncompliant again.
candidly, as big of a waste of resources as it may be, it might. Does AHO have the authority to order it to be mowed?
No. Well, yes, but no. Normally for the post for cleanups, we don't take that in front of AHO. They just issue it and they have 10 days.
It may be more prudent, just in the interest of making sure the city is properly encroaching upon private property, that it be brought back before this body for a mowing violation every 90 days.
Sure.
So we could pass
Or
this till
however frequently or infrequently it needs to be done
September.
for
Right.
code satisfaction. I don't know that we would, that the city would have the authority to issue a standing order giving the
Right.
city, authority in perpetuity to enter.
Makes sense.
So,
We could pass it till
Understood.
September. Awesome, thank you.
and there needs to be a motion to accept the bid before too.
Okay.
I make a motion to accept the bid. $4,800.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and bid to accept the bid of $4,800 to rectify the current issues on the property in terms of the deck demolish, grass cutting, etc., cleanup, and exterior.
Vice Chairperson Souter.
Hold on, can we extend that motion to cover, to also pass it for the 90 days or 60 days to bring it back for compliance? Or do we have to make that in a second motion? I mean,
No,
Right.
I think you can, yeah, you should
Yeah.
be.
all right, I'd like to extend the motion to also cover bringing it back in 60 days
So that'll be August,
to make sure that it's still in compliance of maintaining the grounds.
that'll be August 13th.
That's the alternative.
Yeah.
Pass it every 60 days.
Right.
Instead of dismiss it.
Well, could we not dismiss it and then just have the code enforcement officer for that district just monitor it? He does site inspections anyway, so if it gets hot, he can reissue a post for cleanup rather than, it's up to y'all, but
I agree, I
I think
think.
it's kind of up to the discretion of the board, or the commission rather, because the commission has the authority to pass this matter for status and see how it, it also has the authority to dismiss it, and codes can bring it back. And it's different means to the same ends.
I feel like we extend the motion, if anyone else agrees, to pass it to 60 days and bring it back, to make sure it's still in compliant. That would extend the motion from Bob to accept the $4,800 cleanup.
It might be more prudent to break that into two motions.
have one motion to accept the bid and then a second motion.
Only if for no other reason, because this bid includes work beyond the scope of just the lawn care.
Understood. Okay, then I would rescind my addition to his motion. And if you're still in the calling roll, yes.
So let me do the roll on the first motion, and then you can do your second motion.
Yes,
Okay. So first, Vice Chairperson Souter,
Yes.
Commissioner Myers,
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson,
Yes.
Commissioner Valone,
Yes.
Chairperson Davis.
Yes.
Mr. Holloway, would the 10-day appeal period still apply to this one as well? Yes.
Okay, now I would like to make a motion to pass it for 60 days to bring it back to make sure that it's staying in compliance.
Second?
A motion, a second.
Vice Chairperson Souter,
Yes.
Commissioner Myers,
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson,
Yes.
Commissioner Valone,
Yes.
Chairperson Davis.
Yes. Okay. At this time, we have a couple people that would like to come forward to discuss the first case, which was the 1603 South Smith Street. If you guys would like to come forward. So on city council, generally, there's a sign-in sheet where you can sign in, and on this one, we just say if there's any communications by the public, so I do apologize if that wasn't clear. So, I take it you guys are the neighbors that,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah. If I could get your names, please.
My name is Rodney Love.
Rodney Love.
I live at 1605 South Smith Street.
Okay.
I live right next door to 1603
Okay.
property in question.
Okay, and you are?
Paul Giroux, Girous.
URX? Okay.
1607 South Smith Street.
Okay, okay.
So I'm his
Diagonal.
neighbor, but I've been there since '05, so I'm real familiar with 1603.
Yeah. And so, he bought the house in 2000, you moved in '05, and you've been there since?
I bought the house in 17.
Okay, so he's been there
Yes.
for a minute, okay. And when you moved in, was it that way? Was it?
No,
Okay.
actually, in the very beginning, it was a very nice street.
Yeah,
Started having problems with the Quins around 2010.
mm-hmm,
Minor. Now they turned and looked at me because I have complained, though I
Yeah.
haven't complained recently. Other neighbors are also complaining.
yeah,
If you ever drive down that street, you don't even need to know the address. It's a slum. I mean, I understand his position. Reggie's actually a very nice guy. You wouldn't know it today, but he is nice.
yeah.
It's embarrassing. It really is embarrassing. And I say that because you drive down the street, it's just not a couple of old vehicles. It's a lot of trash. Miss Patty Quinn believes in feeding the wild animals, so she dumps food by the drainage grate, which attracts a lot of interesting wild animals. I mean, I don't mind the raccoons or the possums, but the rats are, and when you see them dead, laying around, I mean, if you go walking down our street at night,
See dead rats.
yeah, you kind of
Yeah, I
see
gotcha.
them. The fence that he was referring to for his backyard is actually his fence that he put up.
I
'cause
built
he
the
didn't-
fence
He didn't want to look
on
into it.
purpose.
There's 4 vehicles that are back there that have been back there from 2018, pretty much. And you can even go on Google Earth.
2018.
Yeah.
That's when I built the fence to hide their cars.
I mean, they've been there for a minute. What you do in your backyard's your business. And we really can't see it, but the problem is they're junk. There's not a chance that these vehicles run. They haven't ran in 6-7 years.
Mm-hmm.
The point is they're full of trash. Collecting water for mosquitoes, food or whatever for the rats or any other animals out there. They erected a trampoline against the other side.
Saw that.
They did it so you couldn't see back there, but it's a big trampoline. A good gust of wind is going to make that go airborne.
Right.
Their carport that they believe is great is missing 2 rear supports. So you have about 8 feet of aluminum that, with the winds that we have been
Yeah.
getting, if you get the right
Yeah.
wind, it's gonna peel it back.
Yeah.
Is it gonna hit his house? Is it gonna hit somebody else's? So it's kind of a safety issue. I told, he's supposed to do all the talking.
It's okay, it's okay.
I know you had a list.
That's okay. I'm listening.
You do all the talking. I'll address his camera.
Yeah.
I know it
Well-
came up. It's legal. We all know that. I told him it was my fault. I told him to put one up for.
I think everybody has cameras on their houses
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's-
everybody has a
have
Ring doorbell,
safety.
everybody has it.
Well, since 2017, these people have progressively collecting junk.
Yeah.
And it's open storage, it's all over the front yard. There's 2 vehicles that's been there for 2 years.
Yes.
The camper is 24 inches from my fence, 12 feet from my bedroom window. They wake me up at least twice a week arguing about 4:30 in the morning. It's a young man and a woman that live there. They've been living there 2 years.
It moved in the fall of 22.
Do you
The
call-
young gentleman has been living in it since. Now, I did make.
Is there power running to it, do you
I
know?
think there's an extension cord. There is no
Yeah.
water and I'm sure,
Not
I
sustainable
hope he goes
housing.
into the house to utilize.
I just consider it a fire hazard and it's
It's
irritating.
run down. We're not talking about just a normal RV that you go camping. This is a rundown looking eyesore.
It's not
The whole
habitable.
property is an eyesore. I mean, I feel for Reggie, but then again, I don't because
Right.
he's let this go. You know,
It's embarrassing, for a company that comes over.
Yeah.
And especially if I want to resell my home.
Property
What's it
values,
worth
yeah.
to somebody that wants to live next to a dump?
Right.
I could lose several thousands of
he's
dollars.
not gonna admit to you, but I know he's selling it
Have
here.
Well, if I can get this property cleaned
Right.
up, it'll bring more money, but
Yeah. Have you called about noise complaints or anything? Have you had, has there
No.
been police calls or anything? Okay.
no, I haven't.
I was just curious
I
if it was
just
also a
kind of
nuisance
kept quiet
property.
about it, actually. Because,
I would like to bring up, we have both spoken with Ethan and Tori, right?
Yeah.
They're pleasant.
Oh, yeah.
We had no issues.
Well,
I don't.
but
believe I
when
didn't-
you're dealing with somebody so uncooperative as them, we just, Tori and I can only do so much
Yeah.
with people like this.
And I know I didn't see it, but I have seen it with other people. I know what you went through with Miss Patty Quinn.
we just all ask for mutual respect.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all we can do, is ask for mutual respect. Everyone
I
doesn't always give it,
Don't
so.
know the legality of it. He has a drone. He was on his property when he took the shots of it. I know there's some gray areas. But it does show what's going on back there.
Well, hopefully Tori can get back there on Friday and we can see exactly what codes can do to help get things rectified and cleaned up, and they will have an opportunity to get stuff done, within a appropriate time period, and hopefully they'll help you guys out too.
Well, I appreciate it. We just like to have a clean neighborhood, and
Yeah,
this would be a good step.
I have made multiple complaints over the last at least 10 years. And
Mm-hmm.
even if they do clean up, which they have in the past,
it comes back.
it's right back in a few months. And it's like a continually cycle.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a little frustrating. They're reading on the website, there are 3 other complaints that neither one of us. And I know there are other neighbors. And it's just not our street, there's Brack Street, because the people drive down it. I'm the one walking every day, that's why they brought it up.
And we can't always choose our neighbors,
No, we can't, no.
Unfortunately, we can pick up and move somewhere else, and you may run into a worse problem somewhere else, so,
Looking forward to them moving, I just want
Right.
to clean up.
Yep.
understood.
want the
And we can do what we can to help try
I
to
don't want it to look
rectify
like
it.
a slum.
Well, we
Right.
appreciate it.
Yep.
Sir,
I appreciate you guys. Thank y'all. I
you
appreciate
very
your
much.
patience. Thank you.
thanks for coming.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's
At this time, are there any additional comments, correspondence from this board?
Yes,
We made a motion. Yes, go.
I do. I have two different cases.
Hit me.
Frawley Road, 28 Frawley Road. The daughter that we Was pleasantly understood. Was one that was educated and blah, blah, blah.
Adopted.
And they have a lawn care service. Does she realize that the city will run liens on the property when they clean up? The daughter understands that.
I don't know. Miss Edna does though, because she just had to pay off a lien.
Okay.
From the gist that I get, because bless her heart, I've talked to her for 2 hours at a time. Okay. She has kids and she has people that are capable of helping, but they really don't help her.
That's
Yeah.
That's my point. The second one is this case. I wanted to wait till they left. Does the city still have the authority to cut off power to things like this camper that's non-compliant?
Technically, yes, I can. I'll have to call his EPB and they'll drop the meter. But
No, I'm sure it's on an extension cord.
yeah, so let me talk to the fire marshal.
I know there was a time the city would go around with the signage. They would cut the cord off. I know the city of Chattanooga does. If you have an RV or something someone's living in, they will come out and roll the cord up, cite you to court.
Normally, in the past, yes, when I've had that, I'll just yank the cords out. But that's been a long time. But like I said, I can also get
So
fire
this guy's
marshal.
been living in it 3 years.
That's literally new to me. Truly had no idea. No idea. This is the first complaint that I've had for the past 4 years that I've worked here that somebody's actually living in it.
Right.
Has it always been a nasty property? Yeah, sure. I've issued citations. Other people have issued citations. But when it comes to the camper, I had no idea.
Right.
Did we make a motion on this case to have you go out? So we made a motion and.
We did.
Did we vote it?
So here's the thing with that one. No, we did not vote.
Okay,
On Smith Street?
yeah.
No.
So can we vote now?
Motions were made, but the vote was passed. We did not do it.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a Souter motion passed
Yeah.
July the 9th. to give
'Cause we were
folks time
trying to get
inspect.
them
We
out
did,
of here.
and, but
And
then we
Wayne,
never,
second.
We were trying to get them out of here.
Hold on,
so-
hold on. Are we talking about Smith Street or
Yes.
Frawley now?
Smith.
So I knew we were trying to get Frawley out.
I apologize.
So Commissioner Souter motioned
Yeah.
to give codes time to inspect and present a plan on how to remedy the violations.
Mhm.
Commissioner Thompson seconded it, and I have that it passed unanimously.
I don't think we did.
I don't think
But-
we did. Can we?
We did not.
Is it too late to vote on that? Go ahead and vote on the motion and the second to have it
No,
passed to next month.
Meeting is not adjourned.
It's
All
not
commissioners
adjourned
are
yet.
present.
So if we could please take a
Okay.
vote on
Yes.
having that motion pass after Tori's inspection of the exterior of that property.
Vice Chairperson Souter,
Yes.
Commissioner Myers,
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson,
Yes.
Commissioner Valone,
Yes.
Chairperson Davis.
Yes. Now, on that property, will you be having someone go with you? Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you. I just, mutual respect.
Listen, I try to treat everybody
I know
the
you're
same.
professional.
I
I
really do.
understand.
I would advise services officer.
Oh,
Yes,
absolutely.
I would
So-
take animal services.
Okay.
I'm really concerned about the interior of this property as well as the exterior. If the exterior looks like this, chances are the interior is gonna be bad as well. However, one thing at a time.
Now,
It's been a problem property for a while.
now my motion was contingent on, number one, they
Yeah.
give you access. Number two, they deal with the camper immediately. And number three, they restrain the dogs, the animals.
Have them.
The dogs like to sit on top of the cars and bark at you.
We saw that in the pictures.
How many dogs do they have in the yard?
I only saw 2, but if they're saying they have more, I don't know. I know that Animal Services has also dealt with this a lot too.
In the
I know
city of
police
East
has
Ridge,
dealt
how
with this a
many
lot.
dogs can you have?
5.
5?
After 5, you need a multiple pet license.
One. That's enough for me. Okay. Anything else on any of the other cases, questions, comments?